Hey guys, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Rise video. In today's video, I want to do something a little different, and I wanted to talk about what I think are Capcom's main issues right now with Monster Hunter Rise, and to spitball some ideas on some solutions to these issues. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So, as I'm sure you guys all could agree on, Monster Hunter Rise really did start off quite well. Many people, including myself, believe that it has the tools, mechanics, story, and design to be one of the best games in the Monster Hunter series. Unfortunately, even with all these good things, it still just seems to feel a little flat and fall short of expectations right now. In my opinion, this comes down to three main things. Number 1, lack of new content. With the move by Capcom to a system where they release new monsters, quests, armor, decorations, and more as the game goes on, rather than have it all released right when the game comes out, we've come to expect certain things. Whether this is good or bad, this is the expectations that Capcom have set for themselves with the system from World and now with Rise. If you release a half game in March, a new update in April with 3 monsters, and another update a month later in May with yet another amazing monster, new decos, etc., this does become sort of an expectation. Now I say half game rather lightly, as I believe there's well over 100 plus hours worth of content and a lot of replayability, but when you choose to release monsters, game-changing decorations and armor, and your high-rank story as the game goes along, and without G-rank, I think you guys all kind of understand what I mean. I don't think this is a half game, but it sort of feels like that with the way that it's been released. But now, ever since those 2 big updates, all we have gotten since then are these semi-okay event quests that give you mainly stickers, emotes, and poses. As nice as all those things are to have in Monster Hunter and as fun as they can be, no one is buying Monster Hunter Rise or still playing it because of stickers and gestures. Even if they just followed what they had done with World and Iceborne and did some seasonal events with a nice new fun armor set, some layered armor, and some neat fun kind of weapons, I feel like that would be a vast improvement on the current state of the game. Point number 2 is I believe that they really did kind of thrash their own endgame here. So when Monster Hunter Rise originally released, once you defeated the story that was available at the time, your main endgame grind was to try and get really good skills on a charm. Those being weakness exploit, crit boost, pierce up, ammo up, spare shot, etc. The things that we didn't have decos for, you needed to get a charm with those skills to help optimize your build. This really did give you something to work towards. You could grind Narwa or Rampages to get things to meld charms, and while this certainly isn't the most prolific endgame of all time, it was at least a system and we all knew what we were doing and looking for. Now, if you guys played Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, you'll remember that the endgame grind in that game was for decorations. Again, they were RNG, very similar to the charms in Rise, and you could only craft certain low-level ones that were extremely common anyway and we all had in bucket loads. The difference in World and Iceborne was that there were specific quests designed to help expedite the endgame process. Whether that was the Tempered monsters in Base World, or the Zinogre quest available in Iceborne, you could drop into these quests and expect a better drop rate and get sometimes between 5 to 10 decorations in a 3 to 10 minute quest. However, with the Rise system, you're only able to get 3 good charm rolls per quest, and that really has slowed it down. I do feel like if they added some kind of quest rotation with the bigger monsters, the endgame monsters, maybe pick 7 or 8 of the harder ones, and those quests dropped 3 to 7 charms as rewards as well as the melding, this would have been a lot better of a grind and would definitely make more sense than only being able to get charms in one way. However, with the release of Elder Dragons and the Valstrax update in the 2 months following the release of Rise, they added all these skills as craftable decorations. Now guys, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think there's just 1 or 2 skills in the game currently, Mighty Bow for sure, and maybe one more that I can't think of, but only 1 or 2 skills that can't be crafted as a decoration. This effectively meant that getting good skills on your charm didn't quite matter as much as getting good slots. And everyone has charms with good slots, especially if you spent a lot of time grinding for those high skill charms. So, with this, Capcom, in a sense, removed their own endgame charm grind And once you do have your decent charm, then what? There's only so much armor to grind for, and then there's really nothing to do. There's not really any RNG, weapons, or anything outside of charms to grind for, and especially if you've already been playing and have been grinding for 100+ hours, you probably already have most of the armors and weapons that are good in the game anyway. So this kind of ties in well to my next point, which is point number 3. There's no big hub or siege quests. Now, some people may disagree at this being a bad point, and I know that Switch and Switch Online have their limitations, but the missing siege quests like Kulve Taroth and Safajiva have really put a damper on multiplayer and experience for me personally, and I know for many others. Now, some of you may agree and some may not, but there's definitely no denying that the camaraderie and just genuine fun that was had grinding out those quests with friends or even with randoms is somehow missing from this game right now. Now sure, grinding those over and over for months got really stale at times, but when they'd be gone for a month or so, then return, that brought people back to the game. The hope of getting that one weapon that you'd been dying to try out was refreshed and renewed. Now I'm not going to say that they need to copy those types of quests exactly, but a large-scale quest that took time, effort, and coordination would definitely work miracles for Monster Hunter Rise at this time in the game's lifecycle. Like, just think back to when KT was new and ATKT was new and everyone was optimizing the fight, learning the weapons, learning the mechanics, learning the amount of hits you had to do, what weapons were good, what weapons sucked, how to beat it in less phases, how to do it optimally. How revitalizing would that be to have something to fixate on like that in Monster Hunter Rise right now? Again, guys, I do want to reiterate that I do think Rise is a good game, and I think it has the tools to be one of, if not the best Monster Hunter game currently in the series. But when it comes down to it, these 3 main things have made the game really stale right now, and I think that they are what is really plaguing Rise at the moment. So what do you guys think? Drop me a comment down below. And while you're down there, don't forget that if you enjoyed the video and the discussion about Monster Hunter Rise, to feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I wish you all a good day, and happy hunting.